Hi, good morning. My name is John Quinn, and this is my assignment for week 6. I decided to do a video narrative with a transcript that's going to be attached to it. My idea was to do this as a welcoming kit for a new teacher before their first day of school, but they have the position. Without further ado, congratulations and welcome to our school. By passing all of your certification requirements and going through the interview process, you are now on your way to your first day teaching on our campus. We have provided this guide for you, or has become clinically known as your survival kit. In this packet, we will cover pertinent information that you will need to know and prepare for before your first day of class. For the beginning of your survival kit, we want to go back to the basics. Excuse me. It is very important that you brush up or make reminder cards or notes for the types of learners that you may have in your classes. For your convenience, we have attached a list of them with a brief definition just for your convenience. Their types are visual, musical, verbal or linguistic, physical, mathematical or logical, interpersonal, and intrapersonal. Taking the time out at the beginning of the class, and it may take multiple classes to do this, but to understand and to get to know your students provides you with the type of learning style that each student has and their strengths and their weaknesses. Also be aware that students may have more than one different type of strengths and multiple weaknesses as well. Taking it from the 7 types of learners you may have in your classroom, we're going to go inside your class structure. A couple of things will have to be addressed. On the first day of class, or before, if you have an online class set up, a syllabus will have to be provided to your students. It is important that you have done this or have this formatted a couple of days before school begins. That way you can get feedback from other faculty members, your teammates, in your department, or principals if necessary. In this syllabus, a lot of information has to be conveyed to the students, starting off with the textbook that you would like to use here. There may be options for you to have the complete control of which textbook you want to use, or it may be by department. In the case that it is a department decision, you are welcome to bring up any concerns that you may have or recommendations for newer books, but also make sure that you have the positives and the negatives for the book that you are recommending, and that you have gone through it yourself to make sure that the information inside the book will correspond with the state standards, the core standards, and the department goals and your goals as well. Next in your syllabus is to address your objectives and your goals for your class. This, when setting up your objectives or your goals, make sure that they are very specific, they can be measured, and that they pertain to the subject matter. If your objectives are loosely vague, not organized, don't relate to the material that you're covering, the students will be confused. They won't understand what's going on in the class, and it's going to make you look like you're not prepared to teach or take charge of your class. These objectives or goals let your students know what you plan to accomplish in the classroom and what kind of teacher you will be for the semesters ahead. Lax or relaxed goals would not challenge the student, and then we would have failed at our job. Excuse me. Again, once created, you are welcome to use any of the available resources to have your objectives or your goals critiqued, which again are other faculty members, your department members, or the principal staff as well. After we go from your objectives and your goals, you will have another important aspect of your syllabus, which will be your grading system. This will be of extreme importance to you and the students as well, and if parents are involved as well. It is important that once the student has your grading system, that you honor it and follow it as determined in your syllabus. When grading assignments, whether you use the letter grading scale, the A, B, C, D, or number scale, 1 will be the lowest, 4 will be the highest, or 5, or even the unsatisfactory, needs improvement, satisfactory, exceeds expectations. Whichever variation you choose to decide, whichever benefits you the most, you have to stick with it throughout your entire semester so the students can get used to your grading system and what your expectations will be. Your rubric system, which is what you will use to grade any assignments, should be given out to the students, or at least be made available to the students before the assignments. At least they will know what you are expecting and how to go about getting the best grade possible for the assignment. Each assignment should have a section for feedback as well. It is very important to have your feedback given back to the students within a timely manner, and that the feedback relates to the material that was assigned. This goes hand in hand with your objectives and your goals as well. They should be very specific. Your feedback should never be based upon the student, but the behaviors, as well as the quality of the assignment. So therefore, they know what they can change to get a better grade on the next assignment. After grades are handed back, there may be instances when students can become a little irate or upset, or what we would classify as a problem student. This is where your disciplinary action should be listed and followed. Of course, it's another part of your syllabus. Students should never be addressed in front of other students because that opens the door for the peer pressure, where they feel like they have to respond back to you in a negative fashion to impress their friends. Asking the student to step outside or to wait after class, this would be a great time if the action can wait to be addressed. If it hasn't, then immediate action needs to be necessary, which would be taking the student outside the classroom. When addressing another student, it is our recommendation that we always have another staff member present. That just clarifies, it gives you a witness to verify any information that's been transpired between the two, student and teacher, and to verify that nothing is out of hand. It is also very important to remember that you are also talking with another human. Emotions will be involved. Instead of attacking a student because your frustrations or you felt that they were acting out based off of your personal actions or you take it personal, always remember to be respectful and courteous to the student. If they, instead of attacking the student, questioning, raising your tone, you can politely ask them if they know why you asked them to stay late, or you can address concerns that you've noticed in their classroom or their grades. It is pivotal that at the end of the discussion, any discussions regarding discipline or any student communication between the teacher and the student, a game plan or an action plan is set up so that the student has goals to attend or attempt to get to by a certain time limit. If they got a D on the first assignment because of grammar or the assignment wasn't submitted on time, their action plan will be that on the next assignment they will have it submitted on time and they have to get a better grade, or you're working with them to attain a better grade. Another aspect of your discipline system is to always follow it. There should never be any exceptions, and they should rarely be approved. Creating or allowing exceptions in your discipline plan only allows the students to take you for granted or to use you. Once you lose the student's respect, it's extremely difficult to come back to. Now that we're done with your class structure and finishing off your syllabus, we will go to the inside of it and start on our lesson plans. Recognizing from the beginning and using the information gained from your students, which was learning their different learning styles, you can perfect your lesson plans so that they can be tailored towards each individual student learning style. If you are having trouble getting a feel for your students or seeing what type of learning style they may have, you can open the door with class discussions. This is why it may take more than one or two class periods to fully gain and learn your students. These discussions should always have a point or an idea that you're attempting to get the students to realize. As with your lectures, they go hand in hand. They can be very formal or informal. It's just based off of your teaching style and the learning styles of your students. Is another aspect of your class structure should be your layout of your classroom. If you're a teacher that likes to move around, you want to be visible, you like to be physical, you get excited, you want the students to jump around, it may be to your advantage to have your desk or your chair situated in such a fashion to where you can move freely. Having them cluttered in one spot only supports the students acting out or worse, cheating off of each other or not paying attention to your lectures. So you always want to take a day in advance or a week to get familiar with your own class structure to see what will work best for you. In these discussions that you will have in the future in your lectures, we go by the 75-25, which is 75% of the The sessions are led by your students and 25% is led by you, the instructor. This is to get the students taking control of their learning, where the 25 for you is to begin and to steer it in the direction that you want it to go to. But always remember that as a teacher, there is always more than one way to get to the solution. This aspect of multiple ways to get to the same solution will be related in the type of assignments given. Essays and your regular standard tests, while they have been effective in the past, we have a number of new materials or new assessment processes that can be used to get more effective materials, and they'll be very time convenient for the teacher as well. Remembering how your students learn, which is the 7 learning styles at the beginning, that is very important. As you see, it comes up repeatedly throughout your teaching process, your lesson plans, your gradings. Using projects, allowing for maybe a written creative writing for poetry, video presentations, role-playing activities. The list can go on and on for what types of assessments we have now available. It is always recommended to keep the assignments open and not limited to a certain specific time, because that will limit the student's creativity. And if once the student has only one way to submit an assignment, you're eliminating 6 out of the 7 learning styles already. So when students have the options, they are interested and they become motivated to actually submit the assignment, to do the research, to back up their claims. Once your students are motivated behind the material, behind the assessment, half of the work is already done. Finally, we're coming to the close of your presentation of your Welcome Kit. Lastly, a lot of information has been covered. Your syllabus, your class structure, your grading process, they're all important, but there's one aspect that is just as important. If you've taken a look at the campus, you've noticed that the campus is very diverse, from the faculty all the way down to the students. When dealing with diverse situations, a lot is expected and it can be very demanding for the teacher. There will be many different cultures in your class, and this is also why getting to know your students at the beginning is very important. If you forget to find out the background of your class, a discussion about politics, religion, or even food can turn a calm situation into a rambunctious one, where you're having to pull students out because we weren't prepared and we didn't know the background of all our students. You are welcome to access our website that has further ethical practices and our commitment to honor every student and to respect them. Technology will become your best friend. It's an aspect from your assessments to delivering your materials to even researching the cultures in your classroom. Technology is the way of the future, so it is expected to be used throughout your lesson plans, and it can definitely help you. Researching, keeping organized, and promoting a respectful atmosphere in your class are keys to your success. Feel free to contact any member of the faculty, your mentor teacher, or your department teacher, department lead, or the internet to help you finalize your preparations and for you to have a successful first day and a successful semester. Thank you, and have a good day.